Anyway, we now have. We're gonna bring our friend Jay Schneider on for some standard. I'm gonna do the usual, kind of get him on, and then he can start talking about the decks while I get them loaded up into Stream Decker. So I'm gonna wrangle Jay here. I'm gonna change my title, but I can do a bunch of busy work while Jay tells us what he's up to. So Jay, I'm coming for you.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Jay, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us. Let's share screen and share sounds.
Sounds good.
Hey, Mobius, thanks for the raid. For those of you just joining us, I'm here with Jay Schneider, who has built us some decks to try out in our usually every Friday constructed brewing segment that we do after our draft. We just had a pretty sweet green-white adventure deck that just came up a little bit short of our expectations. We went 3-3 with it. We all thought it was a little better than that. We just got a little bit unlucky. That happens. And while I get going on installing these decks that Jay made, he's going to talk about them a little bit. I'll set it up by saying that when Jay and I communicated about what made sense to start with in this Throne of Eldraine standard, was thinking about our audience here. A lot of people are probably playing Arena like we're doing it on this account, which is to say mostly limited free-to-play. And so you don't necessarily have a bunch of wild cards that you're ready to use on the latest and greatest in standard right out of the gate, but you do need some decks that you're going to want to grind with when you are not able to draft. So with that in mind, Jay went with an approach of rare light or rare free decks that you can successfully build to grind a little bit. So take that away, Jay, and I'll start loading them up.
Sounds great. And so, sort of, as you mentioned, we were sort of looking for things that people could use who were grinding up decks. And part of what I wanted to do was I started off and built a couple of decks that have 0 rares in them. Because we can always add the rares and we can talk about what type of rares we want to add into them. The first deck is, of course, an adventure deck. Not green-white like you were playing, but a green-black. It does, of course, bring in a lot of the synchronicities with the Innkeeper, but it also does tricks with some of, our or your favorite cards in there, such as the Clover and the Witch's Oven.
So I have it up now so you all can see it.
Perfect. You've got that deck handy. That's the one I wanted to start us off with playing anyway. So the combination between the Cauldron Familiar and the Witch's Oven is just crazy. It's, you're just chump blocking, a drain for one, pop them out, pop it back. And you occasionally start to build up extra foods, and so you can get more than one of them. The deck, of course, has all the synchronicity that you were hopefully going to have played in your draft deck that kind of filtered, and this is just a more stable way of doing it. What's amazing is the deck, of course, has no rares in it. There are some significant cards you can put in, but you still want to keep on the theme. I mean, probably one of the, I don't know what the current listings are for constructed. I'm not even sure that these lists make a whole lot of sense, but for removal, the Adventure 2/3 Murder card is crazy strong.
Yeah, right. If you do add some rares to start with around here, the Murderous Rider seems like where you want to start. That card is bonkers.
It is one of your... there's a couple of rares, and I would say there may be 5 or 6 rares that you just have to come close to burning wild cards on. That's one. Of course, the Lovestruck Beast is an obvious candidate for this deck. This deck never doesn't have a 1/1, so the Lovestruck Beast is just a 5/5 for 3. And that's hard to refuse. So you can add rares pretty easily by moving those in. The things that are going to go out, the Flaxen Intruder, the Curious Pair, and the Rose Thorn Acolyte. But the deck is very solid. I mean, when you add the rares in, without the rares, it's still good enough to grind at the lower levels. And it's a lot of fun. And this is sort of my fun grinding deck. It is competitive, it's solid enough, and it's rare free. And once you do add the rares in it, then it gets up to a solid deck.
Do you want to add any rares, or do you want to pilot it without?
Play it as is.
All right, we'll do that.
Give it a game or two. You can see how it goes. That's the whole purpose behind this.
And this is another thing that happens. The game audio goes really low when Jay hops on. I think it's another competing audio source thing, but so we'll live with that. And let's give it a shot. Normally I switch to the paid account to do this so that we can acquire any cards we need, but the whole point today is to try and see what a free-to-play account like this one can do early in a format. So we're going to try and work with this account today to show what we're doing. Oh yeah, we'll do ranked. We'll always... Standard ranked is fine. A lot of my decks are called best because it's a reminder that while I net decked, I had to trim away a bunch of the rares and mythics. So this is my best version, which is to say if I get more rares and mythics, maybe I can upgrade it. But we'll just start with the... Oh, here, I got to update a lot of stuff. We're going NA. I also got to update what my stream is about. Stranded is a Magic on a Desert Island. Well, it looks nice-ish.
Yeah, it does.
You want to start on the holo, or do you like to get these things going?
I would go ahead and get things going. You got to get the holo. You got to get your black.
Yeah.
So you have to go with the holo. And this is one of the things that costs you for, not having rares.
Well, we could get that going to block, but...
Oh, no. Yeah, but...
Still do this?
Still do the holo.
All right.
And you might as well get a free card off of that thing when you drop it out.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah, great point. It's part of why we running so many is it's because it's such a combo early with Innkeeper. And then let me go to my dashboard. Change this here title.
Oddly, Curious Pair is really pretty terrible for a red deck.
Yeah, right. It blocks and gains life. All right, that's updated. Good. And then I even get this. Ding! Little Jay Schneider reference over my head. Jay can't even see it. He's looking at my screen and not the stream, I think. So,
I do have a little stream going in the other window, but...
So we can go... Let's go...
There you go.
Keeper Intruder?
Absolutely. Yeah. Free cards are good. And it's a 1/2.
Yeah, 1/2 blocks. And let's see. This deck doesn't really... Oh, it plays a Cavalcade. So also Flaxen Intruder does threaten the old Cavalcade.
And this is clearly the Cavalcade deck.
What resource would you use if you're trying to make swaps in real life? I'm working on a cube and missing some cards, but have more than enough bulk to dig through, but not sure the best website for searching text, etc. If you're trying to figure out, if you're trying to look for cards, like you want to figure out, do card searching, I think Scryfall is now your default best card searching engine for Magic on the internet.
That's the conclusion that I came to as well.
But, of course, you know where you should acquire those cards once you've decided upon them.
Card Kingdom?
Card Kingdom! You know they got them. And especially through my affiliate link in the panels down below, where your purchase goes directly to supporting my stream. Well, maybe not directly, indirectly, because Card Kingdom sees what's up. Okay, so let's focus on this, though.
Cards.
Yeah, but like, we don't need to do that yet. Let's see.
Hold the land. Hold the land.
Hold the land and start with the intruder.
I would drop another intruder. Yeah, I think dropping another intruder seems good. Let's just, it's cheap. It gives us the most decisions. We can decide more.
Okay, we could also do food in 1-3. We can just do the food part now. Even do of the curious pair, that is.
Yeah, so
we got
getting the
food, clover, or crumbs. What do you think?
Food. Oh, wow, it's all good. In this case, you're only going to lose in the early game.
I think I'm going to play crumbs.
Yeah,
because. Oh yeah, we could do. Well,
I wouldn't worry about crumbs. Crumbs is slow.
Slow. Okay, let's do food cat.
Yeah, food cat.
Although, man,
food cat.
If we clover, we get to double food.
Yeah, but don't be greedy.
I'm so greedy, Jay.
I know, but this is not a time to be greedy.
All right.
Stabilize. You've got 1,000,000 cards. They don't.
But what if I need 1,000,001 cards?
Right, exactly. Then you can keep recurring your cat, which will also drain them for 1 and up your life total.
All right.
Remember, food isn't for eating. Food's for feeding the cats.
Food's for throwing.
For what it's worth, you can hit them with your innkeeper. Nothing like innkeeper beats.
I'm muting to eat here, so I can't talk for a sec.
Yeah, we can see it. And there's the champion.
Yeah, this intruder is making these look silly. It's funny.
It's the biggest thing on the table.
Now I like a pair for nice D and card draw.
Seems good.
Now can I be greedy and play the clover, or we?
Whatever you'd like to do at this point in time. I think all paths win.
Yeah, I mean we got the food too. Even just yeah. All right, I'm gonna
play
clover
your
it though.
Clover if you like.
Look, Oppo, clover. I'm just gonna stay back. Don't want to trade any of these off.
It doesn't matter. Well, don't lose the innkeeper, and don't throw something into a first striker. The whole deck isn't. Yeah, that is a good point of Rocky about their deck folding to a 1/2.
That is one vicious tiny blonde girl, though. Look at that sword.
She has bear friends.
She is ready. Yeah. Okay, so we can Cauldron Familiar. You could Trail of Crumbs, gain life, and draw. That seems pretty appealing. Order could get back.
You want to win.
I'm going to do it this way.
Don't get the creature back because you need to have 2 to get back.
Yeah, no, I won't do that.
But you could, yeah. You could get something killed, I suppose.
My goal is to have Oppo scoop because they realize that there's no way a red deck can get through this. So in this case, though, you're talking about using this food to recur cats, but it's better to just, in this case, get the full 3 and draw, right?
Oh, sure, because you're drawing a card.
We can wait too.
You really want the Witch's Oven. You might as well finish out the full combo.
Yeah, although all this 3 mana is going to be used up to eat and draw, so I'm just going to wait and let them do that and do it on their turn.
Sure.
We can respond with that.
once you have the witch's oven, then you can just start recurring cats.
I'm a little surprised they haven't scooped yet. As an often a red grinder, I don't stick around in games where I'm behind. Although we're in ranked, so maybe they care about rank. I just don't even see rank. It just doesn't matter to me at all. So I'm just about expedient paths to wins when I'm grinding.
Yeah, the rewards for rank are far too low compared to the effort.
Yeah, certainly the rewards for the higher ranks, right? I mean, it's pretty easy to get to gold, which is all I care about for maximum gold, frankly. And then from there, it's just some extra packs and swag, cosmetics.
Yeah, when I'm playing Constructed, I'm mostly just trying to grind gold efficiently, and I grind just by playing the standard tournament. It's just easiest, fastest. I can knock out 7 singleton games in about couple hours and pick up a few hundred coins and a few cards.
I'm not even going to bother with the adventure here. I'm just going to draw free cards.
Sure. Seems good.
Ooh, we can get more food. I guess we can do that anytime. We have food. Let's, I'll do it.
Again, it doesn't really matter what you do.
Yeah, I might have some lines that would be a little sharper than what I'm choosing, but I don't see how Oppo's deck has any prayer here. I'm gonna even offer up the Curious Pair. I guess, why even bother?
What's the worst that happens? You lose it?
Yeah, I mean, I could have done that, I suppose.
Yeah, again, doesn't really matter. Next turn you're going to start sacking food for more cards and scry and life and...
Oh yeah, good call. I think Luis called that out. If you double order with a single card in your graveyard, the order part gets canceled, gets countered by the
fizzles.
game.
Yeah. Fizzle being the old term for it.
Yeah.
Well, fine. Sacrifice the food and...
A little too much land here, but we'll find some action.
Yeah, I think it's time to put out a set of bears. Or 2.
Oh, we could do that with cottage.
That looks
wait,
good.
Do we have swamps for it, though? Not out. So I'm just going to take the Curious Pair.
Sure. Curious Pair will draw 3.
Yeah, that'll be just fine.
It's sort of like an Ancestral with a 1/3 attached.
Oh, wait. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do it this way anyway. And we clover for the extra food. Mm-hmm. Absurd. Yeah, Oppo's kind of being a good sport here.
Really, you're supposed to be using the cats in the oven to win, but...
Well, we can get there.
Don't forget, you've now got mana.
Yeah,
that's 2 mana for 1.
That's 2 mana, so let's play the trail.
What are you going to do with the mana?
Trail.
Oh, trail. Never mind.
Yeah, we'll start attacking with cats. Good call. Actually try and get Oppo to scoop for real here.
Yeah, there is no sense torturing him to death.
And I'll send this pair. Generally, once you're attacking a red deck, you're in decent shape. There, Oppo goes. Wow, that was a fine display for no rares.
It was, but you didn't get the half the combo.
Yeah.
I mean, you drew enough cards.
Ooh, we even got a random card reward gem. I got to make note of that for our gem grind calculations.
Always glad to give you paperwork. You want to give this one more whirl before we look at the next one?
Oh, yeah.
That is true. Oppo didn't fight that hard, but Red's one of the better fights for this one.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Oppo had basically a tier 1 deck. Maybe it's tier 2. I guess it's not the best. It's just always good enough to be part of the scene. No green yet, but we got a couple clovers and oven. Is that worth it though? What are we doing here, really?
So I generally trust the deck. Trust the deck.
I'm sold.
Worst comes to worst. I'm mulliganing is no fun, so don't mulligan.
Well, Mike, that deck can kind of run on 2. I mean, it generally needs a 3rd. Then it gets its Chandras going. That's true. I'm not beating my chest over that win, but it was fun to see the engine work. Yeah, like when Jay gives me permission to be greedy, like I don't even let him finish the sentence before. Use all our mana here. Oven's not doing anything anyway.
Yeah. Top deck of green, and it's all you.
Yeah, I could play order. Maybe we should just be attacking, but yeah, you're probably right, Mike. We should just play this as an attacker next turn.
So they're probably playing Golos, and sadly, someone had asked earlier what the metagame looks like. We've now seen it.
This is the metagame.
That is the metagame.
It could be Simic Flash, though. I think it's actually Simic
that's
Flash.
True. There is Simic Flash in there. We'll know as soon as whether they counterspell it or not.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they played a basic makes me think it's Simic Flash.
That's a good point.
I mean, the Golos deck does have basics, but not many.
Yep, Simic Flash.
No, we draft our modern set at 3 o'clock, and the drafting starts at 2. So I think on the Card Kingdom stream, I have to look at the info again from Card Kingdom. But basically, well, I'll try and wrap up streaming standard with Jay here by 2:30. Well, yeah, it's 1:18 now my time, so like we'll do this for about an hour. And then that'll give me a little bit of time to prepare for that. Maybe I'll stay on the air and we can just look at that together. But that I do have to figure that out. I don't want to.
Nice top deck.
Yeah, forest is what was needed here.
Mm-hmm.
We might get countered. What do we want?
I would try and draw a counter spell with a clover.
Sure. Although the only creature counter they generally play is the blue one, so I think we're safe on the Innkeeper as well.
Let's find out.
Did I miss an attack? I thought this was our first chance to attack. I'm just casting before combat because I'm talking and playing, I guess. Yeah, volume of options is interesting. We could also like draft the old heavy core sets that were just like, how many cards are in 8th edition and 9th edition? It'd be funny to like take a free core set and then draft a bunch and draft some.
That was a nice unsummon of them. I think that was negative utility for them.
Yeah, we at least get to recast and draw.
Maybe they were afraid of Witch's Oven and then never being able to resolve it.
They might be thinking they're going to cast it on the way down, which is all well and good, but we still draw a card, so... And if we can find a land, we get a 2-spell turn.
Mm-hmm. A creature is also nice, though, so that, well...
How about
that's a
Lucky
land.
Clover with Beanstalk Giant?
Yeah, I think...
Go ahead and counter this.
I think 3 of those is good.
Well, maybe
3
only
lands
2.
is better than 1.
Maybe only 2, but we'll take the 2.
Well, the 1 plus the 2 copies.
Oh, I think they're going to counter one of them. Like, if they want to, like, they might have Frilled Mystic that they just want to get on board no matter what they're countering.
I don't know they can, because they have to worry about what comes next.
Although, and they may want to counter the original because then they stop the big giant.
If they counter the original, you can get it back with the order.
Yeah, good point.
Anyway, this is all kinds of bad. It's crazy how basically a draft deck can actually compete in Constructed.
Yeah.
Don't forget to get 2 forests next. Or a forest next.
Yeah, we'll get a forest. Oh, they're going to counter this one? Oh, Spectral Sailor, okay. I have to. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me, lads. I'm still in figure out my legal requirements around memes, but how can I not? All right, so we could crumb it. If we do the order thing, it's going to counter the original, like we said, but that's not necessarily the worst either if we get the giant back. We can also just crumb here.
You could just crumb here. I think that it's not a terrible plan.
I mean, they're hitting us pretty hard.
Yeah, but yes, true. Hopefully you'll draw out of it. And
I mean, we're almost never going to get...
It's an interesting toss-up.
Because if we just play the flyer, we could...
Yeah, just play the flyer.
We could draw a card.
Cast it
and then we can not worry about the giant.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, we even get the oven? All right.
Now we just need a cat.
Chump and make cat pies all day long.
Who would have thought that it was cats, not blackbirds, in that classic pie?
Well, we could put this Order of Midnight in the pie, and that would be on theme, on point. Only 23 blackbirds to go after that.
Yeah.
We're going to take this and see about drawing our way out. Interesting they didn't attack with a sailor. Maybe they don't realize Order of Midnight can't block.
You get 3 things in the graveyard if you swing.
That's true.
Swing.
All right, let's do it.
I'm not quite sure it's optimal, but it looks like a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm in.
As I said, this isn't the absolute best. The other deck is a little stronger, but gosh, this is a lot of fun to play when you're grinding. And that is the purpose, isn't it?
Basically, yes.
I mean, if
either to be fast or fun, ideally both.
Right. And this one leans more towards fun than fast, but it's still, if you're going to grind, I might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, I expected the wolf. We kind of want the wolf, but they are not acting in time to block here.
I think they're confused.
So now we can't get the 3. We can order for another card. We can trail.
I would sacrifice the order and then still get 2. Because remember, you still get an order back.
That's true.
You've got orders cycling. And more importantly, you want to go fetch out 3 more lands. Because it can't be wrong to turn up to 9 lands, can it?
Seems decent. Oh, you know what you could do? Can't we just target the order twice with the copy, and then this first copy fizzles because it's no longer there, and then the final one does work?
I'm not sure.
Let's try. Oh, does it not? Huh. Not sure how that happened. Guess I need to practice, understand exactly how order copying works.
You decline the first one is how what has to happen.
I see. Well,
Anyway, it's not even necessarily bad to have the other order in the graveyard. It gives you something else to go fetch.
yeah, I'll have to like practice that sequencing with this card. Let's see. We want another forest for sure.
I think 2 forests and a swamp.
Interesting. They didn't seem to have have any counters. Might be the wolf. I don't know. I know what they're up to. Guess draw a card and Trail of Crumbs.
It seems like Trail of Crumbs is I mean, however.
How lucky. Weird. Simic Flash with 5 cards in hand and 4 mana up does nothing on our turn? I'm confused.
I think they may have been confused just because they don't know how to counter around clovers.
Mike suggests a couple islands to this deck for the giant to get, then Secret Keepers with clovers. That's pretty turbo millie, yep.
You certainly could, Mike. I'm a little hesitant to go past 2 colors in a deck that was intended to be uncommon, but if you're going for the rares, then absolutely. You could,
I don't know if this is quite right, but I'm doing it anyway. I know there's the giant, but I feel like, I don't know what they're up to, but yeah, they didn't even draw. They're just kind of watching our deck or something. I don't know.
I don't
know. Let's take another keeper.
No, Rosethorn.
Oh, what is Rosethorn? Oh, because we get a bunch of mana?
It's a million mana.
Yeah, I just went for cards. I guess I'm
Okay.
card drunk.
All paths seem to be doing well, especially if Oppo is just sort of zoned at this point.
And we can do order, draw 2, and still have Trail draw something else. So maybe Trail first, even?
You could also sack your order, swing with your order, sack the order to,
fill the yard. Yeah, we could clover it up again.
Everything back again with the clover.
Another try to, hey, look, we got the Acolyte anyway. So yeah, I'll Acolyte for 3 mana.
Think of it as Dark Ritual.
Especially if we make a bunch of black. I won't, though. Silliness. We could trail, but we could actually just cast the Acolyte and draw twice. I think I like that over trailing here.
Sure. Again, this is one of those where things look really good for you.
We can sack 2 creatures before we untap on our next turn by our next turn with the Oven to support triple order recovery. Oh, they're deciding to play. All right.
Oh, they're going to counter something.
That's fine. Stock that graveyard for us, please. Kitty.
All right. Cats in the house. Now they're dead.
Bring it, Cutthroat. Black Cat is going to cross your path.
Yes, don't be hesitant to block here. But remember to sack.
Yep. We could bring the cat back right now, but we don't really need to attack with it. And if we wait, we get to draw off trail if we have some mana. So I'm going to wait.
It's certainly a much more mana efficient.
I'm going to do this now. I know I want that food, so I'm just going to throw that out there. And then we'll do this. Sure.
How about another giant? You don't have enough land out.
I don't know if we have enough land, but we'll get the rest of it. Let them counter it again if they want, and then we get to bring a bunch of stuff back. Oh, there was a clover. Yeah, I'm just kind of... I'm trying to play quickly because it's a little boring if I just tank on a bunch of stuff here. So I'm at... Also, I'm kind of at the end of my... I've exhausted myself trying to play perfect and limited and failing, of course. And so I definitely play looser when Jay is on and we're messing around with decks. I try not to worry about it too much. There's nothing on the line. Of course, I try to make correct moves, but I just am not going to beat myself up when I don't. But you're totally right, Haj.
I'm not sure why Oppo hasn't scooped at this point.
Some people have philosophies about not scooping that they are very,
Oh, sure. I mean, certainly there's some cultures.
So let's try it this way.
Don't believe in it.
And I'm going to oven. Oh, wait. Let's cancel. I'm going to attack first. Because I'm going to sack the other order, and then we're going to order for 4 cards.
Seems good.
Means I won't have the oven up to sack the familiar, but we can still chump. It's fine.
It still comes back all the same.
Yep. Well, we'll see. We'll see if this is enough for Oppo to give up the ghost on this one.
He could counter one of the... Oppo could counter one of the instances.
I think I'm doing this in the right order. It's a little... ordering the orders correctly. We really don't have the basics left to bother with that. Let's just actually add another order to the table. Are we going to deck ourselves? Maybe Oppo's hoping we're going to actually draw 34 more cards before the end of this game. Throw that down.
Hey, another cat.
Another kitty. Innkeeper
Drain
this.
Cats.
How about, give us one more turn, Oppo. I really want to cast Welcome Home right now. You've been a sport this far, Oppo. Let me do this. I need this.
12 bears to bring it home.
Yeah, we can throw both in front, but I don't even know why we need to bother blocking the Mystic. We got plenty of life. I'm just gonna do this.
Your call. Just make sure you walk the. Yeah, you walk that one. Well, I mean, remember, it was one of the first cards they put out in the set and one of the strongest. So it's hard not to like the Order of Midnight.
I can quit Magic now. This is pretty great.
It's bear time. Reasonably well. It's really dependent. Can you get the innkeeper out and start drawing before they can get set up? So it's a reasonable coin flip. I am sure that you can build an Esper control that'll beat it 65 to 7.
The Bears.
But you're not seeing a lot of it. 12 bear scoop.
Too many men on the field, actually.
Penalty.
See what I did there?
Yes, that's exactly right, Jammy. These are no rare decks, just that are good enough to grind with.
Yeah, we just cleanly won 2 nice games in ranked with rare free J deck number 1. Now we're gonna switch to number 2.
Number 2
rare
is
free
a lot less
J-deck.
exciting, but it's also strong.
You gotta have one of these, right?
You gotta have one. You just can't.
I don't care what you think of it. If you're a grinder, you gotta have this.
You gotta have it. There you go. It's no rares, Sly deck, very strong. It is remarkable how little it loses by having no rares.
I mean, you drop a Cavalcade and it's hard to lose with these decks.
It is. I mean, sure, there's some cards that are a little bit of an upgrade. You could do Chandra instead of, the Searcher, Baby Chandra. But it's not far. You could put in the First Strike Haste Knight if you want to. I've got a build with rogues that I feel is a little more durable. And of course, the 4/3 giant acting as a shock is one of the best burn spells in the game. But you have to consider it a burn spell.
61 cards is somewhat of a J. Schneider signature move that expresses the fact that deck building is often about having the proper ratio of cards throughout the deck. That it's not, and that really 61 versus 60, especially in an all common deck where most of your stuff is doing kind of exactly the same thing. It's not a big deal, and I support that, and I'm not even going to worry about it, and that's all I'm going to say about it. We're just going to go play it. The full arts came from the that gauntlet of questing type events they had.
I'm not sure I understand the question, Mama.
The adventure deck, though, is right here. And actually, that reminds me that now I should switch it to... Oh, we got Cardboard Live doing... Is it... Let's see. Curious. Oh, it must look at the... Okay, great. Cardboard Live should just do it automatically once we start, I think. Cool. Thanks, Cardboard Live. Let's try.
Mike, you're right. Torbrun is a great card in this deck.
Yeah, Torbrand is one of the first rares I crafted because of how good he is in the aggro red deck.
He is absolutely crazy. But again, this is a no rare, so.
There, you can go to... There's not an article, but should be able to send you to my Stream Decker. Can you look up somebody's Stream Decker decks? Maybe I'm not as good at Stream Decker as I ought to be, but... Certainly, you can do... Let me look. So there's this search you can do on MTG Goldfish. Sorry, Oppo. I'm going to let that hang for just a second as I look up the link I'm looking for. Here it is. So you can run this, you can go to this link, but it defaults. So whenever I make that link, it locks in like the date range of the decks you're searching for. So what you need to do is go to that link I just posted and then research it with the date range brought up to date to current dates, and then you'll be able to see all the decks. And it's sweet to know that Cardboard Live has that covered, so I don't need to worry about it anymore. One thing off the plate. All right, this is a mirror. We're gonna haste. I'm gonna haste and go.
Haste and go. If you're blocking, you're losing.
Lazy developer, there are matchmaking stuff. There's matchmaking stuff going on in the play queue, the unranked queue, that might lead to more mirrors. In fact, when they launched the play queue,
Ryan, make sure you attack here, and then when they sack, Hearthfire.
Right.
So don't pump.
So don't pump, or don't make it
don't
unblockable.
Activate, just charge in.
I think what you guys are experiencing is confirmation bias. You've noticed something you think is happening, and so it's lodging in your brain when it does. But if not, then Wizards is lying to us, because they have said that they actually look at deck contents to... do you want to fire this at like the spitter?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's even better. Oppo play errors help too.
Anyway, so when they launched it, there were too many mirrors. Like because they were looking at deck contents to find pairings, mirrors were actually happening more than they wanted to in the unranked play queue, and they actually changed that. So if they noticed it happening in the play queue where it's kind of supposed to happen, and then they fixed it, I would be stunned if they were allowing it to happen in the queue where they say it's not even about that, it's about rank, right? So I think it's just your human brains doing the human brain thing. I think we have to slay the Spitfire. They don't have all the dangerous cavalcade yet.
You have to slay the Spitfire.
But the Spitfire is the thing that when I don't scoop, it's because I might draw a Spitfire, and if it lives, I win, you know?
It's more than that. This is often a control fight when you're playing red on red.
Yeah, you got to pick off the important creatures.
And that mask is a real issue in this fight.
And there he is.
Good thing you've got another slaying fire.
Yeah, he's another must die, so let's just do it. Mm-hmm. I'm not messing around. Kill Torbrand on sight. Ooh, well, might still have to do it. Give up our Dodger.
Obviously you have to, otherwise you...
Well, we could also...
they're gonna... Well, yeah, actually, activate. If they sack, then you light fire.
Well, we can also... If you want to take the risk, we could try and find a fourth mountain on the light.
I would activate and swing. I suspect
certainly we can do that much. All right. Yeah, good point. Maybe they'll...
I think you'll be able to get...
Well, they haven't so far. They seem super okay with us doing that. We can't skewer Torbrand with the 4 toughness is the problem. We really want to get him on the 4. So the risky play is to light looking for a mountain, and then we still get to Hearthfire. The safe play is just Hearthfire and do that right now.
I think I would be risky because we're behind.
All right, let's be risky. once again, Jay tells me to be greedy. I'm in. All right, we missed on the greed. We do have a cavalcade. We could still skewer this, which slows them down a little bit. Although they just sacrifice it and we take 3. That's pretty hefty.
I think you drop out of Scorch Spitter.
All right, we just drop a blocker.
Right, you're chumping. Which is a bad circumstance to be in, but
yeah, we could have done it without. We could have just sent in and see if he blocked. That would have been interesting.
Well, that's bad. That's probably lethal.
It's not quite lethal though, so we'll try to make our way here.
Are you sure? Well, that's lethal.
Oh, it is lethal because yeah, they get the sack.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Like I said, well, if they don't have cavalcade, we have a chance. But we didn't do too badly in a mirror match where we didn't get to play any of the rares that are so good in this deck. If you are looking to upgrade this deck and you've done a lot of drafting from the previous format, Chandra is rare. Chandra is amazing in the deck, and Torbrander is amazing.
And also, don't forget the 4/3 giant with the shock on it.
Yes, what is that called?
That guy's a must play 4 of as well when if you're being super optimizing.
Oh, interesting, Mike. Yeah, you're right. If we block the token, it's not lethal because they have to decide. Yeah, interesting. Might have had a chance there. I'm going to give it another shot here, and then what I'm going to do is show you kind of the tricked out version of this, if you want. I mean, everybody kind of knows this deck, but if maybe you don't know the parts of the kind of upgraded version. Bone Crusher, thank you.
This looks like a pretty promising start.
I'm going to give you that link to the MTG Goldfish decks as well. So that link helps you find all the decks Jay has ever submitted on this stream. You just have to be sure to update the date range on that link, or it's just going to show you the decks that we made the week I established that link. Cavalcade still can't attack. I still think we should do it though.
I think you put out the Cavalcade.
Yeah, maybe the Giant's not as good as all that in Cavalcade. You just want those good old one-powered duders. Here, we're going to activate, connect, light, and see how it goes.
So, Mike, I'm actually not 100% sure Cavalcade is correct in the optimal build. It has, if you play red versus red and try and build it optimal for control and aggro, you can win the mirror and be more competitive against control. The thing is that they can actually ignore Cavalcade if they can control all your creatures, and controlling all the creatures is the key to the winning of the fight.
Boo. They're gonna eat our cookie.
Yeah, that's actually a really strong card in the format right now.
It really is. Yeah, I've been surprised.
It is shocking how good it is. The other big issue is Golas is the dominant deck right now, and that's really the issue to deal with.
To make us discard? Oh, sack a creature. Well, at least we don't have to sack a different creature.
Mm-hmm.
And they might not actually activate that if they can't play a creature of their own. I guess they just oven it. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, they'll oven it.
Don't double bake that cookie. You're going to burn it. No, they went with that. Weird. That surprise you?
Very much so.
I guess they draw a bunch of cards.
They're playing a toy deck, so... I think hitting them for 6 is the appropriate response.
Well,
Or 5.
Or 5. We'll take it, though. Let's see. 13, 15. Yeah, it is what it is. And
Yep.
we'll have something that lives for heart firing, etc. Rakdos, the Rakdos deck they're playing this is another good contender in the format. A lot of good stuff going on. Mayhem Devil, this passive sacrifice thing. If you're sacrificing a bunch of stuff, even the Fabled Passage triggers it. You know, there's a lot of play in the Mayhem Devil right now. Yeah, I think, as Jay said, Oppo's kind of just playing with their toys. I thought we were going to have something left to Heartfire with. Nope.
You got one in the hand.
Whack, whack, whack. Yeah, sure, but I thought one of the Scorchers would live. Grinding us down. Mountain's not what we want to see, really.
No, this is... Did you put in the Dwarven lands in this one?
No. Boy, this is yours, isn't it?
Yeah, it should have had
whatever was in there then, yeah.
It had the uncommon dwarf lands to hopefully mitigate this a little bit. It might need... Well, honestly, it probably just needs dwarf.
I was supposed to Heartfire that. Sorry, I was talking.
To Heartfire that.
I was talking. I was actually listening to Jay and kind of clicking. Sorry.
That happens.
Flood was going to mess with us anyway here. Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Yeah, well, you can scoop.
All right. I'll show you how often I scoop. I scoop quick with the mono reds. All right, but yeah, I'm going to do one more with, I think, oh, maybe I don't have it on this account. Yeah, I'll pass on it then. Now we'll move on. Let's see. I have to import this new deck.
So the last deck I brought is a rare using deck.
Okay, let's see how see how we hold up and see what we're missing.
Right, and let's go ahead and take this and do the reverse. Let's cut down from this deck.
Okay.
So I really, really have enjoyed this deck. It's green-white, much like what you played in Draft, but it's the constructed version of that deck. And good, you've brought it up. So the things that it looks like you're missing Lovestruck Beasts and Questing Beasts. And anything else.
We have one of each. We also have enough to do it. So as long as we don't, I'm not going to use anything on the sideboard.
Well, we can do substitutes. That's,
Sure.
Oh, yeah, ignore the sideboard. You could even bring the sideboard in if you wanted to.
Yeah, I do like, you can just kind of cut the sideboard, and that's generally what I do, and that's a technique we can share. Basically, if I net deck a deck for my free-to-play account that's missing cards like this, and I don't have the wild cards, or I don't want to spend them, I like looking at the sideboard and just making some of those swaps. Sometimes that's dangerous because you might be missing a key component of the deck, but it's at least an approach to take to know that, well, this just didn't make the main deck, but maybe it's good enough in this context, So like we can cut this and add another Knight of Autumn, right?
Absolutely.
We can.
And so on the Questing Beast, do you have any of the 5/4 for 4 green creature?
What rarity?
Rare. It's from the earlier set. The one.
Oh yeah, sure. Protection.
Yeah.
This one.
That guy.
So just do bang bang.
There you go. 3 of those instead of 3 Questing Beasts.
There you go. That's how you can manage
So
working
I have
around not having
something
all the
in here that
cards.
I didn't have because actually my personal account, I've grinded all the cards and they didn't open, and I was hoarding all my gold for the opening up of the draft.
Hmm.
So the lands are off. Those idyllic need to turn into castles if you have extra castles.
Oh, we have a temple garden missing too. Hold on, sorry.
Do
Uh,
you have any castles in there?
I have one castle.
I didn't know if you owned another one.
Oh,
I only have one.
two,
In this deck,
three,
yeah, however many you've got,
four. We got
get
all
rid of the
four.
idyllics. Gone.
Oh, I was cutting planes, but we can do
No.
granges.
Cut the idyllics. Those were just substitutes for castles that I didn't know.
And temple,
I'll put in whatever the
I could
uncommon
craft,
one
but
is.
yeah, we'll cut these. We'll be disciplined and not use any of our
Yeah.
wild cards here.
Oh, did you have more Once Upon a Times? That's the other card that I didn't have a full set of.
I can check.
That we could easily swap out a couple of cards for. Once Upon a Time is crazy how strong it is.
Oh yeah, I think I have a couple of those. I don't know if I have.
You've got two in the
Oh,
deck.
I might have three. I might have three. Let's check. Oh, hold on. Let's go here. Turn that off. There's three. Oh, I have four. You want four?
Absolutely.
What do you want to cut?
How about Flaxen Intruders?
All right.
We've cut down our quests a little bit. Let me see what adventure card. Could you look at what adventures you have for a second before we quite finish it? I'm a little concerned we may have cut it down too much.
Well, we only lost the beast as an adventure. I mean, we lost questing beasts, but that's not an adventure. So we lost two Lovestruck beasts.
And I'm just trying to see if there's anything that would be a good sub. We could put in.
Not really. Realm Cloak Giant.
We could put in a couple of beanstalks.
Well, Beanstalk Giant might not be bad.
Why don't you put in a couple of beanstalks and
cut the knight back?
we
lost Intruder back. Also. Good point. We did lose Intruders.
Yeah, cut a knight back. And
I cut two knights back. That puts us at 60.
That looks good. Let's go
good
with
enough?
That.
All right.
Yeah. The deck needs to be aggro. This is very much your aggro green-white. You're pushing early and fast. But the deck did have a little bit of problems getting to 5 so it can cast the green-white overrun.
After this, we are going to be talking about how to handle the upcoming draft pick I have. We can also, we're going to bring up the, at least I'm going to bring up on my second monitor, the draft happening with the other competitors. But I'm curious what are the top, how do we establish what the top sets are for just playables in Modern, you know?
So, if my understanding is correct, you're going to be drafting the sets today?
One of them. We are locked into M11.
Okay.
So we have M11 as our base. That's going to give you Titans, Lightning Bolt, Llanowar Elves, and check lands and ley lines. And then we're drafting today to pick our first card our first set of 3 more that we will eventually have. And here we go. Double Innkeeper.
Double Innkeeper seems good. They're probably a control deck of some sort or Golas. And so we need to get in there quick.
Looks like these 2 cards make me think Simic Flash again. Also, Simic Flash is just heavily represented in the format right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play much Standard, but somehow I know from a basic land and a Fabled Passage what my opponent is playing. We are making a Modern deck in which our card pool is only the 4 sets that we have drafted. Gonna beanstalk giant here, find a forest, and then we can just replay the innkeeper. Get a little ramp going on.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's fine.
So while they're going to be modern decks, they're not going to be tier 1 modern decks unless somebody drafts really well and is super smart somehow. But I don't think you can make any tier 1 modern deck out of 4 sets from modern.
I'm not sure I agree with that statement. Remember, you gave me about an hour notice and I was looking, and I think you can. The question is to find which combinations of sets work really well, and that's challenging.
I'm going to open on Once Upon a Time, because if they counter this, then we can land Gideon.
That seems probably good. Well, there's a reason not to, but let's see.
Ceratops seems great here.
Yeah, Ceratops seems like the answer for their deck.
We could just not even cast. I'm going to make him have it.
Cast Gideon. Draw the counter.
Or not.
Or not.
Let's make it indestructible.
No, lifelink. Lifelink.
Well, just die. I mean, they're going to...
You're right. You got to make indestructible. No, they don't have 4, so they...
Oh, they have...
they only have 3.
They have Brazen Borrower, which maybe they don't want to trade off.
Yeah, we would trade our 1/1 with them, and I guess they could do something funky with an unsummon, but that's all right too. Your call. Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna play it scared,
and then just swing with 1. That's fine. You don't lose anything this way.
Oh, good point. Borrower can't block. Haven't played against it much. I mean, I guess with a Fabled Passage, they only had 2 mana. I was tricking my own mind there. Mabinap says, so is the aim to make a more competitive deck or more interesting, fun deck? I'll let Jay take that, but I have a feeling I know what he's going to say.
I think the answer, I would always, of course, go with both. In this case, Ryan's competing against other people, so I would probably lean towards competitive initially and then find the fun.
Oh, the modern thing.
Yeah.
I think it's competitive. I think...
Yeah, I would have traded both there.
I felt like, who cares if they knock Gideon? I mean, that was like free, I felt.
Yeah, that's fine too.
And we're gonna...
I feel like hitting them and punching them with shifting.
Yeah. Counter this Simic Flash. I want to win. We're playing on camera in front of the world. I want to win. So that's my mentality, is to really try and spike this out.
Yes, they don't have any answers to the Ceratops.
Yeah, Ceratops against blue decks often just does exactly that. We'll play it another time, though. Another gem grind reward that I have to make note of.
Sorry.
Boo.
More paperwork.
It is using the modern ban list. They started it without using the modern ban list, which would make our M11 pick amazing because we'd get preordained. But no, they have decided to uphold the modern ban list. Just guide mothering on 1, or are you getting saucy here? I guess there's nothing to do with the guide mother. We got to play it on 1.
It partly depends on what your oppo is.
You can also do this on 1.
Yeah, I think you want to get your second forest out on 1.
Okay.
And go fetch a second forest. You don't want to not have 1. Or not have 2.
Yeah, we want a Hydra as soon as we can. Because we can Giant on 3 and Hydra for a nice amount on 4. That should take out that knight at least. Ooh, they're ramping 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like running the guide mother out? At least it
I would
stops the
hold
druid.
the guide. I don't think that I would want. I want the druid to hit me. I think. Well, maybe not. I guess you. Ugh.
I mean, it doesn't. They're not going to attack
Yeah.
with it. They're going to use it to power their
Well, they
4.
might.
They might.
If they drop a land, they pump and
All right,
go
I'm going to
to
actually
the
play it.
face. Well, for 5.
Get a little bit of defense on board, and
But you were supposed to have dropped the forest out that turn, not the castle.
oh well, I was planning on beanstalking next turn anyway. That was my thought.
That works too. Well, that's good. You just have to take it.
Mayhem spawn and a knight. Wow, that's a nice turn from them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got to go for the giant and try to do some work next turn with the Hydra. Keep Guide Mother back to threaten that Paradise Druid at least. Hey, Cincy, you're looking for standard thoughts in general? Oh, I thought that was attacking. I looked away. I know he's got... Well, we can save 4. Oh, it's got trample. Never mind. With trample, I'm not going to bother. I might save 4 if it weren't for the trample. This is
going to be bad.
A monstrous card for us to face. We do get... Hydra for 3. It doesn't have reach, though. I think we're doomed.
I think you're doomed too, but you can give it one more turn. Because you do get a Hydra for 3, then Hydra for 4.
And I guess we take out a knight.
I would take out a land probably, but
the swamp.
Yeah.
All right.
Take out a swamp. You're going to be chump blocking the others.
We can actually say no attacks, and potentially. I guess we can't.
Think you come out. I don't. There's no way out.
This doesn't seem winnable.
No, it's not.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to move on. I will say, there's a lot of complaining about Field of Dead and Golos at the top levels. At these like silver, gold levels, there's a lot of variety in what people play. I keep running into decks. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting, and then I go look for it on MTG Goldfish. Oh no, that was just somebody's brew, So at the low levels, I actually think it's a little more interesting. We're gonna give this one more try, and then I think. Oh yeah, I want to bring up on my other screen Card Kingdom. I think Card Kingdom is streaming the draft on Twitch, so let's check that out on my other monitor. Oh no, where is it then? Maybe it's on. I gotta read my email. We have time though. No white. But we do have the Innkeeper. This doesn't seem keepable to me, though.
This is keepable.
It is?
Yeah.
All right. Jay says
You're
it's keepable.
Draw land. Especially in when we're not trying, we don't have to min-max. There you go. Land.
Get the land now? We can, well, I guess it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
Eventually.
You can drop the Innkeeper first, but you drew a land, is my point.
Yes, I'm just looking at, yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what did Kevin say? Oh, Card Kingdom Twitter. So if you want to follow the draft right now, we're following Card Kingdom on Twitter. And sorry, here, let's take that. I'm going to add a column for user Card Kingdom. Oh, no. What is it? I just want to do card. I don't know. Sorry, Oppo. Give me a second. Huh, it's only doing it for me. Never mind. We'll figure it out.
Fetch planes and then drop out the fairy godmother.
Okay. Oh, man. Maria didn't make her pick? Too bad. Yeah, it looks like fetch land sets are going to go early. Maybe the next pick, somebody will pick up cons for that. Hey, James, maybe can you throw up a link to the Twitter, like a Twitter page that will give people the Card Kingdom account that we're supposed to be following? That'd be nice. I was trying to do that over there, but I should actually play this game we're in. No blocks here. They're probably going to up this knight. Steven's wanting to do Turbo Fog. Maybe.
I'm not sure. You lose all fun points for Turbo Fog.
Yeah, I don't think I can do Turbo Fog. I think I'm off Turbo Fog. Two not me. So, we can play a forest and drop a Knight of Autumn that has a 4 power, could maybe combine, although this thing's now going to be this is such an impressive card.
You can also drop out a Loxodon if you drop a forest.
That's not even big enough.
It's a 4/4.
Yeah, and this is going to be a 4/5.
Oh, that's fine. You're not blocking that.
Well, yeah, whatever. It's just like, it's going to be even bigger than that. All right, we'll do this, though. Oh, it looks like we only get to draft from... Is that... Or is that no... I don't understand. I think... Well, we'll see. Right, I'm looking at their graphic, and only the top rows are highlighted, so maybe we only get to pick from these specific sets. So maybe these are the only sets we get to draft from. Sorry. Okay, they get that. That actually makes it easier.
So one of the things you're going to want to do is you're going to be using the front side of the shepherd on your next turn.
And we're going to bounce what?
Either the Loxodon or the Knight of Autumn. You could just use the Knight of Autumn as a method of getting a ton of life.
Well, it looks like we're not going to be able to bounce because right now both our lands enter tapped. So if we play Knight of Autumn, we don't get to bounce it.
True, but you could mount the Loxodon.
Yes. Should we just play Knight to gain the life, though?
That's not a bad option either.
Play Sands, gain some life, play Knight, gain some life, try to survive the turn, and then do your shenanigans next turn.
Actually, doesn't your one of your lands don't is a blossom?
Yeah, they will. I put in blossoms. So okay. Yeah, we'll gain 4. And hold on all fronts because we may need to throw the Guide Mother in front of a Knight or whatever. All right, I'm actually glad that they're doing it this way, Card Kings, because it makes it easier. We just have to look together at the options, and heck, we're only going to have a handful of them left. But yeah, basically with our M11 strengths, what do we want to take from that is the big question.
Do we draw? I haven't been looking at the channel. Do we draw 4 in a row, or do we just? Is it one? Is it one draft and then everyone else picks?
Everybody's going to have one pick today. and 1 pick only. And then we'll do this again next Friday, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And the order of the draft changes based on who is raising the most money. I think I like this.
I think that looks pretty solid too.
Oh, is Birds in M11 too? I didn't see that, I guess. Yeah, it is. That's right. Yeah, maybe we're just Gruul Ramp or something. You're not going to get some perfect modern deck. It's going to be ultimately kind of a good stuff modern.
You might be able to get to a Traduce style deck. There's enough utility, low casting cost creatures out there.
Well, let's see. How do we not lose here? We can play... Probably have to play the Shepherd for card and then chump the Knight.
If you... actually, you don't.
You
kill the Knight with the Hydra.
How?
Put the Hydra in the way and then bounce it using the Shepherd.
But how's the Hydra killing the Knight?
It's doing more than 1 point of damage. Hydra fight.
Hydra fight on a... Oh, this Knight. Sorry, I thought they're both Knights. So I thought...
Oh, I'm sorry. The little one.
And also I'm
kill
now...
the little one. Make sure to keep one... Wait. Make sure to keep 1 mana back.
I was too talky. We have no hourglasses and it went to 0. So... No stakes magic at its finest here. Sorry.
That happens. Anyway, what you would have done is you would have dropped out, done 2 points of damage to that. Then you block and you bounce using the Shepherd's Front ability.
And we're probably going to have to block and bounce here anyway, but we're not dead. We just lose some counters on the old Innkeeper.
Mm-hmm. Losing the time might be enough because we were just making it as it was.
Yeah, we were just kind of turning the corner there, and then I blew it on the clock.
That happens.
Yeah, that's all right. I could wait till end of turn there too, but didn't. Lovestruck Beast can make the...
Get the Godmother. Oh, Lovestruck Beast. Oh, never mind. Lovestruck Beast.
Pretty big, right?
Big enough. And more importantly, it's 2 blockers.
Yeah. And 1 for the Knight, especially. Or this Knight. We keep saying Knight. 1 for the Rimrock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not much choice other than to do both sides of...
do the Innkeeper first.
Well, we can't... can't, unless we want to risk... Maybe we need to risk... finding land here, but this is a 4 mana play, so we can't even do it without. I guess if we block with the Innkeeper, maybe
the Innkeeper can block.
We're gonna retell this story. Let's retell the story. This Lovestruck Beast is enamored with this Innkeeper.
So romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Tale as old as time.
Let's see. So yeah, if anybody interested in this Card Kingdom draft I'm in should actually be looking at the table of sets that we can even choose from, which I'll read them for you if you don't have the link. But it's Journey into Nyx, Champions of Kamigawa, Ravnica, City of Guilds, Shadowmoor, Shards of Alara, Zendikar, Mirrodin Besieged, Avacyn Restored, Return to Ravnica, Theros, Khans of Tarkir, Lorwyn, Shadows over Innistrad, Kaladesh, Eventide, Ixalan, Guilds of Ravnica, Dominaria. Those are your choices. I guess we chump rather than give up the beast.
Yeah, chump with the Innkeeper.
Can't believe we're not even just completely dead here. This card is so damn good. Knight of the Ebon Legion. Oh my. Let's see. We can Voracious Hydra to take something out. Then we have a double block that would actually work, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we have to
I
do
would
that.
instead, I would still do the same trick that we were looking at before.
Okay, well,
Keep one white back, and play.
we don't have the shepherd anymore.
Oh, you don't have the shepherd anymore.
Yeah, I think we got to do this. It keeps us alive if they don't have anything going on in hand.
Mm-hmm.
We're drafting 13th, and there's 16 competitors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18. Yeah. So 18 minus 13, we'll have 5 or 6. Yeah, something like that.
If you'd like, we can swap over to the other channel, and we can start looking at sets.
Let's finish this game and actually try. It'd be cool if we turn the corner on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're going to lose both of these to take out the knight, but then we get to drop Hydra. See if they attack with the Venerable Knight. They should, because we really need to double block the Ebon Legion. But good, they didn't. So that gives us some hope. They got to use the rest of their mana to take these two out. But we do get it. All right. We traded 1,000,000 mana and 2 cards for that 1-drop. Now we can go Innkeeper.
You probably need to take out the bell.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if we could do it. Yeah, okay, it's got mana, so we'll just do that. But we are turning this around.
It could turn around pretty quickly. A Gideon lifelink would be a nice infusion.
All right, as I say, okay, we'll take that. Yeah, we can go Gideon for some big lifelink and then make a chumper at the very least.
You should be able to make 2 chumper. You can get a Innkeeper out as well.
We didn't play a land this turn, did we? Or did
you did not.
So we could Flower Flourish to still pull off that same play. We can't play 2 things unless they're 2 1/1s.
But you can play 2 1/1s.
Wait,
I would not play that for a second. I would play an Innkeeper and then a Godmother.
But we get to do the same thing. If we haven't played a land yet, we can go get the forest, play it, and still do Innkeeper Godmother.
I was trying to hold that back so we could use it for the finish.
Oh, sure. Okay. If you want to save it for finish, let's do that.
I don't think we need to min-max that.
Okay. I'll take your word. And we get to draw here. We might end up playing... We find a forest and play the 3rd Innkeeper. There you go.
That was sort of my hope.
Yeah. All right. Mabinap, the order of the 2nd and 3rd rounds depends on how the fundraising goes. Whoever has done the most fundraising gets the highest pick. It's in order of fundraising. So if you want to help that, here's where you go. Also, they're giving away a bunch of gift bags for the first 80. I think they have like a ton of gift bags now that they're giving away to the first people who donate $50 or more. And that's for everybody. Do you want to throw all these on, or are we just going to go for the flourish? Well,
I would just block the knight and take the 3 because you remember the other one has menace.
This has first strike.
Life.
Oh no, wait, sorry, I totally wrong. Totally wrong. Yeah, we got to do that, right? What about blocking them all? What if we did just that?
That's fine.
Like that? I mean, they get to draw a bunch, but what are you going to do about the old Reaper? Like, it's just the way that thing goes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wondering, we can't quite kill them this turn if we just take it, can we?
Not really. 2/2 on
3, 6, 9.
3. We got Gideon though.
3, 6, 9 plus 6. No, we can't quite do it, but we get we get our life back.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Get a bunch
it's
of
a
life back. This is
right.
6.
So
Yeah.
activate Gideon. Getting lifelink off of the trampler, right, the biggest thing. Cast overrun.
I think they can't just take it, so
Oh no, they have to
we're
jump.
gonna live.
Right. That was sort of my count.
Hey, got distracted, still managed to pull that one out. That was fun.
The
Nice.
deck's actually really pretty strong. I'm shocked it tends to run under go loss, which is nice.